All right, so
We're
we are
live.
live. Hello, Nerd Initiative family. I am Megan coming to you from Nerd Initiative, and today we're going to talk about the show that has taken the internet by storm, Wonder Man. I am joined by the amazing Matt, Michael, and Sean. Matt, why don't you start us off? Where are you from? Who are you? What is your deal?
What up, party people? I am the editor in chief here at nerdinitiative.com, and I'm also one of the yappers over at Hopsgeek News, where Lauren and I talk comic books, movies, TV shows. But most importantly, we are here with some amazing people talking Wonder Man.
Michael, tell us about you.
I'm from Pecora, California. Is that where he's from? Or am I already?
Also, Hard University.
Yeah. No, Michael Rothman, co-founder of Nerd Initiative and new Wonder Man convert. Great show.
So, Sean, let's hear it.
Not a lot. Resident nerd, do board games, comics, things like that. All things Marvel Comics. I like other comics too, DC, Dark Horse, IDW, all those. But I grew up on Marvel Comics, kind of where I've been hanging out for most of my adult life. If there's a doctor in the name, I'm a fan. Doctor Strange, Doctor Doom, Doctor Voodoo, all of those.
Oh, those are really great. Those are really good ones.
What about Doctor Who?
So here's a fun thing. I tried Doctor Who. I really like Christopher Eccleston as a Doctor Who, and didn't like the others. And I come to find out, like talking to people, like that's the one people like.
My wife's favorite is Christopher Eccleston, actually, as well.
So
I like you guys,
I like that series. I didn't like the guys who came after him, and I watched the two guys who came after Christopher Eccleston, and then I just didn't care for him, and then I just fell off.
David Tennant, but okay, so you don't like all doctors, okay?
I like the doctors in comics.
Doctor Who can be. Anyways, we're not going to have this discussion because we're here about Wonder Man. Anyways, I'm just yelling people's name in the chat. We got a lot of cool people in the chat. Unfortunately,
you guys are watching in the chat.
One of them.
Let us know where you are from.
Yes,
it's a new trend.
Who your favorite doctor is?
Learned my wife's seminar for TikTok is to keep engagement. Ask the audience where they're from and what their favorite things.
He's such a boomer. Anyways, all right, boomer. Yeah,
I see a heart. I see a heart. Hit those hearts. Crush those like buttons.
Hey, super chats. We got super chats. Go ahead, comment. Let us know your favorite moments of Wonder Man. Let us know where you're from so you can appease the old man over here. And also let us know your favorite doctor in comics as well. Okay. And ASL for all you people out there that grew up with AIM.
Don't bring that weird stuff back. ASL brings back so many memories. But we're here to talk about Simon Williams' Wonder Man. So we've all watched the show, all 8 episodes. Who stayed up and pulled the all-nighter and watched all of it?
No, not me. No.
We did. Me and Tom did.
Too old.
Well, thanks, Kevin. I did not. I watched one episode because we watched Fallout. And then I said, oh, it's like 10:30. I'm really tired. I have to go to work tomorrow. I can't. And then I just watched it at work the next day. So it worked out.
I thought you were watching Traitors. Or was that the next night?
No, the next night was Traitors. Okay.
Okay.
No, there was a new episode we haven't watched yet, so I don't know who the traitors or the faithfuls are. But if Alan Cummings does not make or say that line on Avengers Doomsday, I feel like the Russos should be immediately fired. I stand on that.
Oh my God.
I concur with that.
They should never touch Marvel again if Nightcrawler doesn't show up to Dr. Doom and say, are you a faithful? Or are you a traitor?
All right, so Matt does not want to talk of Wonder Man tonight, apparently, but we're going to force him to. So... Did any of you have experience with Wonder Man before heading into the show, like in the comics?
Yeah.
Of course, Sean did. Sean's our Marvel expert. Sean,
Megan's the Marvel expert. I'm like the bootlicking lower than dirt assistant peon here.
Sean, I'm taking under my wing. He is my America Chavez to my Wong.
All right. Well, Sean, did you have you read Wonder Man comics? Like you've sought them out?
Or? I read West Coast Avengers, right, which is 140 something issues, I think. Which, is kind of all of them getting together, and you see a lot of, through the 8 episodes of the show, you can see where they pulled some of the stuff from. I think it's in West Coast Avengers where we see that red suit that he pops up in the show as well. So could be wrong, but yeah, I'm familiar with him. I thought he's a pretty neat character. He's not like even the top of my list, but I at least had a familiarity with him.
He's like no one's favorite.
Well,
Name
it's
one.
not-
Name one
never
person.
around. Yeah, I've
I
never met
remember
anybody who
I'm
said
adding the
Wonder Man's
photo.
my guy.
I'm adding the photo now, but I remember the '90s comic where he was on the set. I guess they took a little bit from it. Everyone remembers this one, the lights, camera,
Yeah,
action.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the one that kind of in the '90s growing up. That's the one that kind of stopped me reading it. I was like, this is kind of boring. Whatever. It was like too meta for a young kid, and I just didn't understand it.
What is going on here?
Michael, I
So-
think like you hit the nail on the head. Like that's, and Megan said he's no one's favorite. That's why. Like he is too meta for most of at the time he was being written. Right, probably too meta
Yeah.
for most of the target demographic coming in during that time.
So
And real quick, I gotta agree with Yancey there. I mean, Wonder Man really is messy because he's one of those characters that I'm a good guy, I'm a bad guy, I'm kind of in between, but I'm a good guy again.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Avengers, I'm trying to kill you today, but now I'm back.
Well, from the comic that Paperweight Entertainment brought up, that's when Wonder Man is and Beast are best friends. And that's also Beast is the person that Wonder Man told, hey, I'm leaving the Avengers. I'm going to go be an actor. I've been acting like a superhero my whole life. I might as well do it now. So that's when he
Right.
leaves and everyone's like, you left the team?
Right, but to be fair, like yes, there's the Beast thing, and yes, he's very messy. But let's not also remember, or not also forget that, like he fell victim to Dark Beast too. So
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
like you essentially have like the best buddy tandem going on in Marvel with him and Beast, and then Dark Beast comes along, and you're like, oh, so yeah, like I agree he's messed up, Yancey. I don't know that he's as messed up as the Maximoff family. That's just a different level of childhood trauma, but
We love it. We love the trauma.
Who doesn't
I will-
love generational trauma? I know
Sure.
Lauren.
I know.
Derek, I will give it another read. I have faith in Derek and his suggestions.
And that's right. He does share the mind and soul with Vision too, and it is
Messy.
very messy. It's almost
I
as
didn't.
if-
Yeah, when I was doing
not
the
to
research,
mention
like,
there's the
mapped
running
out
gag in the
mind.
90s. The running gag in the 90s, he doesn't traditionally die. He dissipates. He loses control of his form, and it's
Yeah.
Wanda's hexes that are all the time bringing him back. So like he's
Oh yeah.
connected to Vision and Wanda. He has the brainwaves, and then it's Wanda's hexes that consistently, to the point it becomes kind of a running gag that
Mm.
Wanda keeps bringing him back with her hexes. He's out here floating in the ionosphere, and then bam, now I'm a person again.
So they
the
do a lot
90s.
of different plays to get you into Wonder Man. They even have him date Wanda at one point, and even then, it's like, come on, because he's not a bad character by any means. It's just like Yancey said, he's so messy, but he's also one of the characters that's like, oh, but I love that team he's on.
Mhm.
So you do have a little bit of a connection with him, unless you jump straight into the show with no connection whatsoever. Hats off to you because they did really, really well. They made me
Yeah.
care about this character, which I didn't think
Yeah.
was really possible.
You're right. This show really makes you care, and that's a real big testament to Yaya and Trevor. Ben Kingsley. They also made me care about Trevor. I have been so out on Ben Kingsley and Trevor, the Mandarin, that whole thing. You know how I feel about that. And then I was kind of like, yeah, we get Trevor back in Shang-Chi, and I'm like, okay. And then we get the one shot showing how he breaks out of jail. I'm like, okay. But these two, I could watch seasons upon seasons of their
Yeah.
relationship and them
Yeah.
just talking and driving around and going on
Right.
adventures together. And that just shows the chemistry that they both have as actors. And it's so off the charts.
The
Right.
weird buddy cop show that you did not know you needed until.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, exactly. Like you talked about Shang-Chi, he pops back up and you're like, no one asked for this. And then you see him in this, and you're like, okay, yeah, I did
Yeah,
ask for this. I do want
did.
this. Thank you for giving me what I didn't know that I wanted.
Right.
I was actually irritated when I first saw all the stuff come out about Wonder Man because I was like, great, they're going to give Ben Kingsley more of the spotlight. I want to see about Wonder Man. And, like he kind of already started off on a wrong foot because most people are like, who cares about Wonder Man? And the other people were like, there's a race swap. So it's like, I feel like he already needed some hype. And I was like, why is it mostly about him? But then watching it, it's like, I'll die for this man. Like Trevor
Yeah.
Slattery, I'll die for him.
No, I've seen a lot of videos and comments out there where I mean, classic Marvel, right? It wasn't marketed well. Have we? Is this the first show they've dropped every episode on opening?
No.
Nope. Echo.
No, they've done it with Echo.
Okay.
They
Marvel
got
Zombies.
Yeah, Zombies Echo, they got away with it with Agatha and Daredevil, and so they brought it back. But I want to propose the question because I actually think this show works as well as it does because they dropped it all at once because of how it's more narratively driven. What are
Agreed.
your thoughts on
Sure.
that?
That's true. I agree.
I
with that.
agree because I mean it flows so well. I think breaking it up week to week would have done it a disservice.
Agreed. I think people would have complained hardcore if it done that, and they would have been like, "Oh, so slow, nothing happens." But the fact that it was all 8 really, really works for it.
Plus,
I
it's the
think that's the
spotlight.
same thing is true for both of the Spotlight projects, right? So this
Yeah.
is the second show under Marvel Spotlight banner, the first being Echo.
Yeah.
Right. So and
Yeah.
it was the same thing. Like I think it just works with a narratively driven show that builds on itself. You've kind of got to have it, right? With Ironheart, we saw it was pretty self-contained. Yes, it built on itself, but each episode was kind of a self-contained subplot almost to an extent. And that didn't really happen here. Everything built on the next episode and the next episode, the next episode, right? Episode 1, you get the doorman clause, and then you get a whole episode for the doorman explaining why we have the doorman clause, right? So
Has anybody seen Josh Gad, by the way, since then? He just
I
just-
don't know. I saw something on Threads that said Josh Gad will return in Avengers Doomsday. So
He
Oh,
posted
okay,
that.
that's
He posted that. Josh Gad did.
How did he post
Which I
that? He's
thought
been
was
gone. Is he
great.
posting it from like the multiverse? Is that he's at Battle World already? And that's so he's
He's
dropping
ghost.
his, he couldn't get his chair, so it's stuck.
maybe the
Doorman-
Dark Force dimension has threads, man.
I gotta say though, man,
He's got his phone. He's got his iPhone. I think he's on T-Mobile, and as Billy Bob Thornton's been saying, T-Mobile
have
is the
T-Mobile.
best
It's
network
awesome.
around. So
it is. You could take T-Mobile anywhere, and it's great.
Yeah. you'll never
It's
guess
an
where I'm at
international
right
plan
now.
automatically, dude. It's perfect.
We are not paid by T-Mobile, just so
No.
you guys know.
We could be, but we're not.
No,
Up to
I
them.
will say I usually don't love. I think it's been played out with the ever since like Michael Cera in what's that movie, The End of the World.
Oh, this is the end. Or it's
Yeah,
the end or whatever. Yes,
there's some that are really good when what's it called when they satire themselves. This one I did like the Josh Gad one. It was just enough to where he was just enough of a tool, and he thought he was being nice. Like, call me J Dog, it's fine. Don't call me J Gad. Sorry, call me J Gad. But yeah, this one I think it was great. It was just what they needed, and
The Olaf remix, Michael.
oh,
Banger.
I
Banger.
thought they were actually going to be end up robbing like a bank or anything, and so when they didn't do
Highlight
that,
of the soundtrack.
I was kind of like, oh wow, I like that they didn't end up doing that. But also that whole episode is a very good commentary on 15 Minutes of Fame and how they take something like Ding Dong, and you can tell he hated it. He's so much more, but he really has to lean into it because that's his shtick. And it's a sad episode, but very well done.
Yeah.
And then Josh Gad disappears and he gets puked
The
up.
cinematics in that doorman episode, the decision to do that episode in the black and white, perfect. There's a lot, you talk about the commentary. I did episode 1, so I like Megan. I stayed up, I binge watched it the whole night, but I did the episode 1 watch party with Joe over at Muscles of the Multiverse, leading it, and we were on Threads talking. And one of the things I said is when they have the interview right there at the beginning. They're asking the director,
There were
when
so
they're
many
asking the director,
pictures.
like, why make this Wonder Man movie or whatever? I post on Threads and I said, hey, this is kind of a commentary. I feel like this is a commentary within a commentary towards Scorsese and all these other people that just trash comic book superhero movies. Like, why would you do that? Just because something can't be, has been done already doesn't mean there's not a new way to do it and things like that. And all of that monologue where they're interviewing the director. And I was like, this kind of feels like a little bit of the director of this show saying, hey, like, you're not less of a director just because you're doing Marvel projects, right? I've seen, and it tied in well because I've seen a lot of people complaining on the heels of Sinners that Coogler's coming back to Marvel to work on Marvel again. Why does he? I was like, man, like, the dude can work on whatever he wants. Like, everything he touches is turning into gold. So if he wants to work on Marvel, great. I'm happy to have him, but I'm also going to go see whatever he does next anyway.
Oh,
True.
Coogler's that name that him and Christopher Nolan are two people that if their name's attached, I know I'm getting quality and I'm going to be there night one. And you're right. There's this snobbish entity of older filmmakers turning their noses up. Oh, at this. But I think Wonder Man and some of these other projects show that if you don't have to fully dive into the superhero genre. If you did Marvel, you could have different genres of a superhero show or movie because there's something different for kind of everyone. Like that's why WandaVision, right? It was really that TV sitcom. And then this was a very beautiful narrative piece, and not everything has to be smash, bang, blow up into the world.
I mean,
look at
Echo.
I was gonna say, I actually don't think Wonder Man was a superhero show at all. I think if you,
I don't think it was.
If you take out the very small amounts of action and the last episode obviously has a very, very little bit in there. I think that, and I think Megan will appreciate this because I know we've talked about this in the past. I think with X-Men, what's the line in there? I think it was episode 7 where they talk about him being, the mom saying, oh, maybe it's episode 6. Like, I didn't know he was so alone. That made me think of X-Men and disenfranchisement. And, this could have been, honestly, and they were saying how different he was. His secret all along could have been that he's, a gay action star in the 80s.
Yeah.
Like, you could have said this in the 80s and it could have been like, oh, he's a gay action star. And it doesn't have to be. So like, this really is kind of like a timeless piece on just being excluded and being out. And I think someone called out the part where it's his mom's birthday and he's just not, he's the only one not smiling. He just feels so awkward and out of place. And that's what I took from it.
Big a-hole too, and is a big driving factor of that, because he calls it like, oh, you're still trying to do that, and man, I'll get you a job any day. And that's why he doesn't really feel as though he fits into his family. And a big part of that, I mean, his mom is proud of him through and through. His dad passed away, but his brother is this big, just a-hole the whole time.
That's my Grim Reaper.
Yeah. Also, like, Chloe Zhao
right about this one,
Gary, Chloe Zhao did, something with Eternals. And I think, Chloe Zhao was amazing, and I would love to see more from her. But yeah, Yancey's right. The industrial incarceration, the prison industrial system, like, whack. Just whack.
When he says, when the director of the DODC says it's only half empty, that was immediately, and I actually put it in one of the spoiler videos where I was like, it's obviously a nod to the privatization of prisons in this country, where it's like, we need to have them full, like fill the jails, fill the prisons. And it's like, oh, so yeah, there are so many things. And there's things that even went over my head that I was Googling that I could not, I guess there's like I didn't really understand. I have not seen Phineas and Ferb. There's a few things. I guess that self-reel, he's singing about going to school or whatever. That's another egg. I didn't know what that was, but there's just it's so cleverly done. I'll shut up now because I only know half of what I'm talking about right now.
Gary's right though. Like Gary in the comments talking about Chloe Zhao. Like, yeah, there's something you can do a little bit of everything in Marvel movies. I know, coming from Mississippi originally, where the Choctaw still have a huge presence in Mississippi. I don't know of any major studio that's put in the legwork to be as culturally appropriate and as culturally authentic with cultural characters as Marvel did, like bringing the Choctaw in to work on Echo and to make that last episode as authentic as possible by having actual members of the Choctaw Nation be a part of it. You can do something different. We've seen, if you look on Threads, you can see that they had people working on this episode, Haitian Creole people who were consultants working on the episode and things like that. I've seen some people who were actually Haitian Creole talking about the accents and things like that, but still putting in that effort. It's easy to pick the low-hanging fruit and go after Marvel and say, oh, it's all the same thing. But you do have the Eternals. You do have people putting in an actual legitimate effort to accurately represent people who are different. And I'm great. Like I love the idea of Simon being Haitian Creole. I will remind everyone, I said it on Threads, I'll say it on here. It's not the first Haitian person in the MCU. That's Daniel Drum, who gets absolutely waxed by Caesius and his gang at the beginning of Doctor Strange. So we do have another Haitian hero next, I'm going to keep spamming Marvel's social media accounts until I get Jericho Drum.
Yeah, and the way that they portrayed, Haitians in light of, like Yancy mentioned, in light of everything that's kind of happened in Haiti recently, they really did well culturally with that.
Yeah.
And then not even
I
that,
love
but
the blue drum. I love the blue
Yeah.
drum because I love the conversation of people who don't know. And I in a past former life I worked at an airport, so I saw lots of families traveling, shipping things and stuff. So I knew what it was. But I love the conversations of people, like even in the Wonder Man watch parties. Hey, what's the deal with that drum? And then just the people freely sharing. Hey, if you're from a diaspora, you live somewhere else, it's a way to send things back. And someone even talked about in different communities where there are huge populations, Vietnamese and things like that. Some of the stores will even have them, like convenience stores where you can buy drums and stuff like that.
That's
to sit
cool.
at the back. So
Yeah, because I have younger Haitian cousins who were adopted at an age that they were aware of. And I was
Mhm.
like texting them, I was like, what was that thing? And they're like, oh my God, they had it. I can't believe it. And that was like, it was really cool to see that. That was really, really appreciated.
It is, because I know it's so easy for folks to be out there. Oh, why are they including XYZ? Why do we need this? Why do we? And it's not for me. It's not, I'm a white dude. It's not for me, right? It's for those people and for those kids to feel like, oh, somebody recognized my culture. And that is what is so great about all of this, is it's such a melting pot, and anybody could be a hero. Anybody could be anything. And that's what I love so much about their decision to do things like that as well within this show, or whether it's Echo. And that's why I know people want to complain, hey, oh, why did we have to drop this? Why did we have to do that? But I want to get more of this kind of stuff. Like, watch it so we can get more of this kind of stuff.
I mean, I think it's relatable to everyone. We talked about the outsider thing. I think we all feel it. And I think the reason why we've seen such a reaction to this show in particular, because obviously, look, nerds tend to be outsiders in general. So this show resonated with everyone. It absolutely resonated with me, and you just feel for him. I mean, and it's a great acting job, because Yaya, obviously one of the most handsome guys like around.
I know.
You still feel sorry for him, even though this guy's like,
Well,
probably, I don't even know how tall he's, like
the whole
6'3",
like
6'4", like rugged,
acting
like,
community. I mean, the whole Hollywood in general, because you saw people who work in the industry, whether it's as a stuntman, whether it's lights or whatever, feeling seen from the jump. There was little moments where, whether it's the American Horror Story or other filming parts, and people are like, oh, I had a part in this, I had to do this. And it made the industry aspect feel really real. And it based it around it was his powers were the central driving factor behind what the damage control was doing, but it wasn't what also made the show. And I appreciated that too. You saw his powers a little bit, but the acting ability, look at that episode where they're at, the house, and they're paired up, and the different emotions he has to go through, and the way he has to really dig deep. And also, for a second there, when he punched through dude's head, I was like, oh my God.
that was real. Yeah.
I thought it was
That
real. That caught me so off guard.
It's like, what? How are they going to get out of this one?
That's what I thought. I
I
was like,
nearly threw up.
that was a built-in jump scare. That's what that was.
It like, because I was staring at it, and then it happened, and I like out of surprise almost threw up, and then like I just stared. I was like, what do I do? What do I do if I throw up? And he pulled his arm out, and then he just like woke up, and I was like, you mother. Okay.
It was such a good, because the scenes were just so like tender and slower and emotional, and then all of a sudden he just punches through his face, and I was like, oh my God.
And Michael, you talked about like people connecting with the show because they feel left out. I think also, if we go to the end of episode 8, right, and we see he's made it, he's the A-list star, and then he goes and, spoiler alert if you're watching this and you haven't watched, he goes to help Trevor, right? I think all of us have experienced that point in life where we really, really wanted something, and then we finally got it, and it wasn't what we thought it would be. And I think that's also, we're so focused on the story and the friendship of the outsider part of this 8-episode run that it's very easy to overlook because it's so far like stuck in that last little, the last third of the final episode of the show, that he finally gets what he's wanted, what he's struggled so long for, and it's not fulfilling. And I think that, most people have experienced something like that. And if they haven't, like, it's a good lesson, right? Sometimes you want so badly, you get what you want, that you lose what you had, right?
But he also finally gets a friend, right? Like a true friend,
Right.
Yeah.
Even though obviously in the end of episode 7, he found out everything that was going on, he goes to save him, because I feel like everything in this show is about the one thing, like the one passion, the one film, the one friend. Like, it's funny. It related to me because growing up, I didn't have a lot. And I find myself at a certain age, like I remember my first car, like I was afraid to drive it. Like when you're not in abundance, and it could be tangible or intangible things, you hold on to, like, I still will get like shoes and I don't take them out of the box for like a few months. I'm like, oh, I don't want to mess it up. Like, I felt like that was like kind of his thing where I noticed it early on with the notes when he was filming American Horror Story. Like, he wants it perfect. He can't, someone who's like a Matthew McConaughey or, I don't know who else was in it, Josh Gad or whoever's in there. They have roles after roles after roles. And like, so, if this one, they don't put in their all, or it's not perfect, I'll move on to the next one. I think he kind of like leaving the shoes in the box. He was like, this is my one chance. This is my one thing. And I think the same thing with Wonder Man. And I think Trevor is that one friend who helped him out when he was about to mess it up again. And he was about to piss off on Kovac when he wanted the rewrite, and Trevor stepped in and was like, dude, let it go. Like, how about we change it to this? Let's go film. And I think that I picked that up too, where it's like, he can't, it's all put into this one moment. And so it's really, really relatable.
Too. Perfect.
Simon's also a lesson in not letting perfect be the enemy of good, right?
Yeah.
Especially with the American Horror Story. Like you said, Trevor stepping in and keeping it from essentially happening again. You were so focused on everything being absolutely right that you can't just let it go when it's good enough. And again, that's something that most of us have dealt with. You go into school or something, or you hyper focus on something. Oh, I got it. It can be a little bit better, and you end up making it worse because you're just so focused on it. So.
And
I also think they didn't. Simon didn't know what a true friendship was until the premiere of his movie, because he was just kind of winging it all the time, and then he found out Trevor was working with the DODC. And then Trevor took the blame for it. And I think
got into Mandarin gear and did the Mandarin bit, which was crazy.
Yeah. So he took the blame for it. And then when Simon gets to his premiere, it's like, this is everything I wanted. What am I missing? So then he takes the break from acting for his friend.
Like he even got his brother.
Who cares about Eric?
He finally got his brother to compliment him, and he had that fulfillment. But there was still that.
But even Matt's a little bit right. Like even in that.
I
scene,
didn't say it wasn't. I'm just saying, frick. Eric.
Yeah. No, even in that scene though, like, yeah, Eric sucks. We all agree Eric sucks.
Yeah.
But like even in that scene, Simon's not necessarily in the moment. He's looking around at the people that he's kind of sought their approval. He's looking at what his brother's doing. He's looking at what his mom is doing. This is his big moment. He should be enjoying it. And he's still, even in that moment, focused on what everyone else thinks.
That's a really good point. Yeah, because
speaking of which,
he is sitting around. Eric is such a tool. Why are you even here to Trevor? Just being rude and awful and like just downplaying him the whole time. And then after the movie to come up and you were great. And you almost want to punch him, be like, shut up.
I do like that though. Like in the comics, the Grim Reaper, part of the reason, I mean, there's, it's comics, so it's way different than this, but part of the reason he's so jealous and such a villain, compared to Simon, is he is jealous of like the attention that Simon gets from his mom. And you saw it here too, where, Simon's mom just like, Simon's the sensitive soul that his mom like feels so bad. That story broke me where, he's like, thanks for loving me. Like, as a kid. And I'm like, and then you have Eric, who probably was like the cool kid in school and high school and like played sports and did that, and then Simon's probably the one that was in his room the whole time by himself, reading comics or watching his Criterion collection and, all this stuff like that.
So how do we think his dad died? And why
Eric,
Why is
probably-
it? Because his X gene kicked in and it killed his dad, and that's why Eric hates him.
Okay, so all right, I like that because Megan was getting into it on Threads today, and I appreciate it. They were coming for her, and Megan said no. And
Not today,
what
Satan.
your theory is that in this universe, instead of giving himself the ionic powers, he is a mutant. Correct?
Yes, because in the comics, Zemo gives him the powers, makes him overpowered so he can take down the Avengers. Zemo is done. And our boy Simon says, I don't know why I have these powers. I don't want them. What happened at 13? There was a house fire, right? And Eric was so mad. Man, how are you mad about a house fire from a 13-year-old after all this time? It's because it killed his dad. His powers exploded the house, killed the dad.
That's a solid theory. I'm 100%.
That is
I am sold. I am with Megan. I'll ride and die on that hill of him being a mutant. I don't know if that's how Dad died. I don't know about that, but I'm
Well, it is to me now.
sold on
Yeah.
he's going to be.
Marvel
the
doesn't
next-
like
he's
to
the
bring
next mutant.
characters back unless they're Captain America or Iron
I
Man.
think,
So,
yeah,
mhm,
I
that's
think
how-
he's definitely a mutant. I think I was discussing this with some folks on Threads the other day. I think they are, and on Discord too. I think they are setting Department of Damage Control up to maybe after like the soft reboot when we move into the X-Men era, be the equivalent of one in the comic book. The Office of National Emergency that handles super mutant issues.
They
So
definitely are leaning towards that. It's a
yeah,
slowly
so I would
coming back.
definitely see.
So,
Yeah, I would definitely see DODC like transitioning into that. I don't think they're like full blown Orcus, but I could definitely see them transitioning into one and becoming the Office of National Emergency or something
Well,
like that.
They did say it's only half full, and what is the easiest thing to go for? Mutants.
mutant.
No.
And you got to look at it too. I mean, with what's going on in the broader Marvel universe, right? Who knows? When is Earth going to say enough is enough with these heroes that keep putting us in these world-ending things? And then Kingpin has his anti-vigilante task force, and
True.
I think we're seeing it play out through this. There's this turning on these heroes to this point, and now we're going to put mutants in there that people are really going to not understand, and they're not going to be able to harness stuff. And you see also with Doorman episode, people just have powers out there all over. They have powers all over. So this is one of those things that there's a lot of people out there with powers. So we're seeing the world at large turning on superhero beings and things like that. And it's going to lead us into the mutant saga. It's going to bring us sentinels. It's going to bring us all.
Well, Dorman
I
got his
think-
powers through the ooze from Roxxon, right? Like that
Yeah.
was his.
Oh, that's right. Somebody was like, "This is the first time we saw Roxxon." No, idiot.
Guys.
Oh,
Roxxon's
man,
been
there's
We
here
That's
first
like
saw
2008.
Roxxon in the MCU and Iron Man when they
Yeah.
had
They've been
a sign
teasing
for it.
Roxxon
and Department of Damage
Oh.
Control too.
Roxxon
Yeah.
has been in the MCU since
slow
2000.
burn.
Come on,
Yeah,
guys.
they've been
Like-
slow burning Roxxon core forever. Okay, and I still want my Armor Wars, but I would also love to get AIM. AIM was also teased.
I don't know,
And
Matt, what I'm hearing you say best in your description is I'm hearing you say you want a spotlight series that basically recreates the Marvels and we see what life is like for the average everyday person living in the superhero world.
Yeah, I want to see
Okay, but
someone's
like
how they feel when the Hulk messes up their car
They
and they
had
got
a
to
TV show, I
insurance.
think, on ABC or something like that at one point. There was actually like a TV show that did that, and I think Alan Tudyk was in it. It didn't last long; it's like one season, but
Right.
that would be kind of fun. Give us an hour long of just the events of we kind
Give
of
us a
got the
narrative
2012
driven Marvel Spotlight
the-
series
Yeah,
that is essentially the MCU version of the Marvel's comic book run. Let it be a photographer or everyday person that lives in New York City and complains about their ridiculously high insurance rates because their car gets
why do
wrecked
you
every
still
3
live in New York
weeks.
City too? At that point, if every Tuesday there's a world-ending event,
And
why
there's
are
this
you
guy
still
Peter
there?
Parker who gets all the good photos of Spider-Man, and the
Right.
photographer
I
can't
know.
get
I
any.
can't
You
This-
know,
This one
Spider-Man.
building has been sold 3 times. It's owned by Stark and Avengers, and now it's owned
And
owned by the
Sentry,
Countess. And
with Sentry coming out and just not even dusting, he just like shadow realmed people. And why are you still raising a family in New York City? What is there here? Good
Oh.
God.
it's time to go to the West Coast.
Yeah,
West
and go to West.
Coast.
I do. Oh my
Mhm.
God.
look at
I think
Mockingbird.
it's about time. I really think we're overdue. That we are so overdue for whether it's got to be series. I think they could build a West Coast Avengers series with Wonder Man, with Kate Bishop, with Ant-Man out there. I mean, Ant-Man's San Francisco. I don't know. I'm just impatient, I guess, because we see so many characters, Shang-Chi and all of them. And yeah, I know we're going to get them in Secret Wars and Doomsday. But I don't want to wait 5, 6, 7 years in between characters when you could give us full on hour-long shows or episodes, like 8 episodes of the West Coast Avengers dealing with something coming together. They can tie into movies, but you can make these series. And there's no reason we can't be doing that with the amount of Marvel characters we have. We shouldn't have to rely on Avengers movies all the time.
Yancey's right, though. One thing we have overlooked talking about like Eric and how much Eric sucks, though. Yancey's right. Like Eric went to bat when the character assassin writer came out. Eric went to bat for his brother and gave him like a glowing review.
Let me just say, if I talk trash about one of my brothers to a reporter, my mom would on site. I would be getting fired. Look, I'm just saying. Right. That could mean many things. He didn't want to be embarrassed by him. He didn't want to be associated with someone embarrassing. It would hurt his mother. It would destroy his career.
So he'd have
to I'm not saying there's altruistic reasons behind it. I'm just saying we need to at least acknowledge that, Yancey's right. He did at least go to bat for him. And you're probably absolutely right. Like it may be one of those things like, I can talk bad about my brother, but you can't talk bad about my brother type thing.
Also, since we're on the topic, shout out to his ex who also knew about his secret, kept his secret, and also was like, I don't have a bad thing to say about you. You don't have to worry about it. And I hope you find love and acceptance one day. That was a heavy scene too.
And that was a good recovery scene for me. Because in that first-ish episode, when she was like trying to duck out while he was at a casting call or at a scene he was supposed to be shooting, I was like, man, like not only are you doing this dude dirty, but like you're trying to dip out without having to deal with the emotional baggage of doing it face to face. And then for her to come back around, I was like, okay, look, like a little mini redemption arc. That's great.
Well, I also think comes back to him, right? His story where things are never, even if you feel like an outsider, things are never as bad as they seem. And you think it's, oh, she hates me. I was probably the worst, boyfriend she's ever had. And she's probably like talking to all her friends and being like, oh, Simon's the worst and blah. And no, she really just cares. Again, what she said in episode 1, you never let your guard down with me. And she was, man, yeah, hats off to her. I don't know how long they were together for, but kept the secret, never said anything. I couldn't do that. Like if my wife had powers, I'd be like, what's going on here? Let's talk.
Ride or die with him.
Well, also,
most unrealistic part of the story.
In that first episode, when you first meet Simon, he is insufferable. On that set, and I was like, you know what, girl, you're right.
Oh my God, even I would have fired him too.
I would have fired him. That's a wrap for Simon Williams. God,
brother, you're literally there for 2 seconds, but it shows the perfectionism and how he sabotages himself. It kind of sets you up for that redemption to break out of that, but it didn't mean I didn't want to also fire him right immediately too.
It definitely says it also plays into just kind of showing you off because like in the comics, Simon Williams does have that eidetic memory. So the best way I was explaining to somebody in the Threads live watch party is that the way it kind of comes off in the comic is that he remembers everything, but it's more of like a hard drive. Like he remembers moments that happen and things like that, but it's like he's watching a movie. Like he doesn't experience them. He doesn't experience the memory. So everything, you just imagine like you've got this one doorway that the information is trying to come through and every bit of information you have is trying to slam into that doorway. So yeah, he is absolutely insufferable, but that scene also sets up a little bit of, he has this ionic power. He's got this eidetic memory. He remembers everything he's read, stuff like that.
I also think like that, that makes a lot of sense now because, OCD comes in a few different ways, and one of the ways it comes in is experiences that you hold on to, right? Like, and if he's had failure after failure, and he has eidetic memory and what's the other one, photographic memory or something like that, where he can remember everything. I mean, talk about the immense like weight that's on you. And like I said, that one show, he's like, oh, he probably told his whole family, and he's finally going to get his big break, and maybe someone will see him, and he just, again, he wants to be perfect. And he's consistently probably thinking about all the times that he got close and didn't make it. And yeah. I mean, that's why what they always say to athletes, have the memory of a goldfish, because otherwise, like, I don't know how quarterbacks do it, where they throw an interception and the next day or the next drive they're throwing a touchdown or whatever. Like, it's incredible to me. I would be sulking on the sideline for, I don't know how long, but I just don't know how people get over it. I tend to hold on to things too. So I can kind of relate a little bit. I wouldn't be as insufferable as him, but I can imagine the pressure you put on yourself in situations like that. And it's just,
when you watch it and you look at it and you even say, like, is he doing it because he wants to be perfect or because he wants this scene to be as perfect? And then later, like, you see, like, it's you want to be perfect. Like, you care about the scene being perfect, but you want to, it's kind of that, like somebody learned a new word. I've got to let everyone know that I know this word and how to use it. It's that type of thing, almost like I have to show off what I know. And you're just doing it to the wrong person, right? That's like when everyone tries to pop off on Gail on social media about the X-Men. And she's like,
try God, not her, man. Let me tell you, she will get you. God. Also, like, I wonder where we go from here too, because at the end we do see him. Also, shout out to Simon, because he paid the family's bills to make it so he can quit that job he didn't like. I'm making a movie about you, man. And ends up paying the bills, breaks Trevor out and all of that stuff. So I'm wondering, because I think they were talking about they're going to interact with other MCU characters. So I'm wondering what's next for these two. Yeah.
I don't know if we're allowed to put that on there, but I
But Yancey's right. I mean, because of his secret, except for Trevor. And at the end, he flies him right out. It's cool how he's walking down too with the camera, messing with the camera, and his energy was going off. And then he flies out and they get there and it's too late. And I can't wait. I really want Wonder Man.
I think one of the things that is neat about this, I think I would love to like have it. Give me one chance to talk to the director. This question is if it is a narrative choice, is in that scene where he breaks Trevor out, his flight is it intentional that it looks kind of dangerous and clumsy? Like it doesn't look like what we see when we see other flying heroes. It feels very dangerous. It feels very clunky. Is that a choice? Like, did they mean to portray it that way, or is it just me looking at it? Because it feels like, even coming off the back of Superman this summer, it feels very clunky, very like it's dangerous. Like he's still trying to figure himself out. He's making a step towards that.
I think he's still learning his powers.
Yeah.
Because all that's new. Because when they show him breaking his family's island and, really blowing up the set, that's kind of him not having control of his powers. Whereas now in that scene, he seems to have control over himself and all of that stuff. And he
manipulated the camera, right?
Yeah. So he's learned to really control his powers and harness it for his betterment.
And then we do get the tidbit from Cleary, right? The tidbit from Agent Cleary, the confirmation, ionic in nature. So coming from Wonder Man's background, his powers are ionic. He's a being of pure ionic energy. So
they didn't mansplain anything to us in this series too, which is really nice for a change.
Well, I was gonna say, could someone want to explain ionic energy, like what that is?
No, I'm not what do I look like? A rocket scientist?
Drop it in the comments if you know.
If you're any scientists are out there can explain ionic
anyone out
energy,
there knows about ionic energy and has experienced it, please let us know and
experienced it.
And maybe call your lawyers or something like that.
Wow, you're out there trying to get them to out themselves as a superhero.
So what's interesting is that the directors confirmed that we're going to see Simon show up somewhere else.
Yes.
Where are we going to see this man?
Do you think Wonder Man is he going to be the one in Doomsday? He's going to be the one that's like powering Battleworld?
I don't know. Could Simon Williams be the replacement for like Molecule Man?
That's what I was thinking. Like
I was asked that today, and I haven't stopped thinking about it.
Yeah.
So is Miles Morales going to give him
fun fact? This is very like beyond nerdy of me, beyond comic books. Michael, ionic energy is what it takes to knock a valence electron loose.
Okay.
Sure. It gives you crackly purple powers. Thanks,
Derek. I was going to say, I think Derek has that's the scientific definition of it.
Yeah, I actually have looked it up, and that's exactly what it says. believe it or not.
Sean,
Crackly
you're
purple
such a
powers.
nerd. I love it.
Third.
Sean,
What happens when you that's what happens when you get a degree that makes you take all of the sciences available.
that's fair. So
You're basically a superpower expert.
Eh,
you're like a Bruce Banner. That's what I'm
Huh?
learning. You're like a Bruce Banner. You know everything.
no,
You're
Very
Bruce Banner. Except
Have
less
we tried to blast
uncomfortable.
gamma radiation at you? Can we try that? Is that safe?
probably not.
See, just a
Oh,
milestone.
You can try. You can try anything once, Matt.
I try anything twice, actually. So
Some
twice
things are a
you like
once in a lifetime
some things
experience.
are actually a one-time event, and
Yeah.
if it's not a one-time event, you get superpowers. That's what happens. Apparently, I actually, and now I'm kind of stuck on this theory of maybe Wonder Man's ionic powers do drive Battleworld, and then that's going to be my headcanon until I'm proven otherwise. I think he's taken over for Molecule Man.
Might
Oh,
as well.
Yancey's got something. It renders the user a being of pure, nearly immortal energy, granting human strength, durability, flight, and the ability to manipulate their own molecular density.
Molecular
overpowered.
I
density.
feel like I haven't learned anything.
That's
there.
the word.
I'm
that
not
stuck out to
smart.
me
I'm getting
there.
my master's is in marketing, not ionic power. So that's probably why I don't get what's going on.
Well, so like
in
looking
short,
at it from the
OP.
comic books, guys, like looking at it from the comic books, he basically it's his thoughts and stuff that hold him together, like as a body. So he doesn't traditionally die; he just dissipates into the ether
Oh,
Mm.
and then gets brought back. And that's what I said. Like it became the running gag. It's usually Wanda's hexes that
that's
bring
crazy.
him back.
What if it is Wanda's hex that brings him back if he dies?
I don't know. Look, I know I'm in the minority in this. I hope that when what happens in Multiverse of Madness is real. Like I hope that she's gone.
You demon.
Hey,
Wow.
you know, I'm sorry. I think you had a nice.
You
A
spit
lot of
in
people
my
criticized
Not
her
a
quick turn to
chance.
villain.
Not a
kicked
chance.
my
A
dog.
lot of people criticized her quick turn to villain. I thought it was a nice redemptive arc at the end.
I can't believe you just said that you hope she's no, sir. Madison, you came at the worst time because Sean over here is
Yeah.
saying he hopes Wanda's
Hey,
taint
my
is
girl
gone.
Madison.
Well, Madison, I need you to what's
Bring her
replace
back.
Sean
Bring
with
her back.
Madison? Bring her back.
Oh,
You know,
sweetheart.
no, I'm sorry. No, because Wanda got done so dirty by the MCU. I'm sorry.
Sean's getting attacked.
That's fine.
All right,
This is
guys.
not
She did
your
dirty
Bruce
things
Banner
to
fight.
she,
Don't
she
boo
did
this
dirty things to
man,
America.
tomatoes. Everybody
So,
booed him from the show.
So
No,
you
Wanda got done dirty.
you
Wow.
truly
look,
do not
I
want
will
to-
stand on my own on that, and I am a-okay with it. I thought it was a good ending to the movie. Is what it is.
So you're okay if you never see Wanda again in the MCU?
Oh, we're gonna see her again. She's gonna
But
figure
not
in the
even
That
video.
you.
wasn't the question,
Yeah,
Sean.
there's no
Don't
way
be
we're not going to
politician.
see her again.
But as far as a main
Either
character,
way.
yeah, I'm fine not seeing her as a main character anymore. Marvel has such a deep roster. Like
Yeah,
it's
they don't-
we can move to somebody else.
Bringing back Captain America because listen, I'm actually going to defend Sean because
Correction, we're bringing back Steve Rogers.
listen,
Captain America never went anywhere.
you
Ah,
actually
Only one
technically
that's
you're
bad.
right.
man with the shield. This is the man
You
who
are
knows how
right.
to throw a
You
shield
are
really
right.
well.
All right, sorry. Tony Stark and Steve Rogers are being brought in. I know it's not the Tony Stark, it's Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans, but I don't think we need to keep bringing them back. Okay. Yeah. Also, yeah, Yancey, I'm with you. Okay. But Wanda's coming back. I
Agreed.
mean, as we saw in Agatha, I mean, homie, her kid's alive.
That show is so Wanda coded. There's no way she's not coming back. That was a big old tease the entire time.
Yeah.
Yeah. They even said
I'm mad if she comes back. I'm fine if she doesn't, but I'm not mad if she comes back. I like Elizabeth Olsen as Wanda. I mean, Megan and I are knocking out the Sorcerer Supreme reviews every time they come out. Like, I like the character. I don't have a problem with it. I'm just saying at the end of the day, I thought it was a satisfying end to the arc, but if they bring her back, that's fine too. Like even in comics, the trope is gone, right? Ultimate Universe ended the last remaining trope in Marvel Comics, which is the only person who stays dead is Uncle Ben. And even the Ultimate Universe ended that. So
actually, we have two people, as we discussed on Daredevil tonight. The two people that stay dead in Marvel all the time is Uncle Ben and Batlin Jack Murdoch. So,
Oh,
poor Jack.
yeah.
Poor
yeah.
Jack.
Also, Doom is going to have her somehow. Man, God,
Because Doom is like her and Doom are like engaged to get married in Children Crusade.
it should be.
So
me.
that's what I want to see. If they go see Doom and you see Scarlet Witch without her memories, I'm all the way in. I don't care.
Yancey, if you need your Agatha versus Wanda fix, Sorcerer Supreme issue number 2.
And a little bit of one.
All right. Well, shoot. What do you guys give the show? How do you like out of 5 out of 10? What are we doing this? How do we do it? Letterbox does 5, so I'm used to doing 5. So should we do out of 5?
Do 5.
All right, Megan.
I give it a 9. I would give it a 10, but I did not like that they took away Doorman's
You
mutant.
just said we're going
backstory.
out of 5, and then she goes, "I'm giving it a 9."
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking.
Just, just straight like
Four.
flowing from. We're gonna go out of 5. I give it a 9.
4.
What do we do? 5, 9. She goes, "I give it. We're gonna go
That
5."
felt so
No, I
intentional.
thought we were going.
I know it probably wasn't, but it felt so
No,
intentional.
I
He
was
said 5.
reading,
I'm gonna go
I
with
was reading
9.
Madison's comments. Like, she's just so happy.
I'm glad she's here. Thank you, Madison. So it's a 4 out of 5 then? Are we okay?
Yeah.
Michael,
Oh, wait, are we doing 5 or 10? I'm so
we're
confused.
doing 5. We're doing 5.
I just gave it 9s. What do you mean?
Letterbox scores are out of 5. So
All right, I will go. I gotta go 5.
Ooh.
I just think it was just like, again, and not. I don't think it's a really great superhero show, because it's not a superhero show. I think as far as shows go, it hit me because it just, again, it and I think it's something that's very timely, and whether
Victor Timely?
whether Creston really designed, sorry, my chair just whatever, whether it was planned this way, and it probably is, because that producers and directors are very of the zeitgeist, right? And so I think a lot of people are disenfranchised. I think a lot of people feel out of the loop. They feel like failures. They feel, and it just hit me. I just thought, for the time, it is a almost flawless show for the time that we're in right now. As far as and that's the funny thing is, if you look at the other point, I don't think it's like the best MCU project. I think it's just an amazing show, like this generation's version of Midnight Cowboy or something, where people will look back and be like, I'm seeing that, and just being like floored emotionally, and that's kind of how I felt.
Fair. Sean, what you got?
I'm with Michael. I think it's 5 out of 5. Like I immediately, I finished it's midnight my time when I finished episode 8, and I'm like, look, I need a second season, like tomorrow. Like, I need you to announce tomorrow we're going to greenlight a second season. And as much as I've loved other shows, I loved Loki, I loved Ironheart, I love those shows, pretty much everything except Secret Invasion. But
that didn't happen, so it's okay.
As much as I love those shows, I said, yeah, I want a second season. I finished that episode and was like, I need more. Like, I want to. I finished the 8th episode and the credits roll, and I'm saying, this can't be the end of it. And that's the first time that happened for a show that I said, this can't be the end of it. Michael's absolutely right. Like, this is a great MCU show. It's a great, even if there's no connection to the MCU, this is still a great show.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think, besides Daredevil being the one that I need more obvious reasons, I would give this a 5 myself, because it really didn't rely on the superhero aspect. It just felt like 2 dudes becoming bros and finding their way back into this life, because Trevor started out just, I'll work with Department of, Damage Control, but then he really kind of started to find himself again too, because the whole Mandarin thing everybody kept bringing up, and he did that as an acting gig, and because of that he ruined his life. That's kind of what he became known for. But he found his passions through acting and helping Simon, who also was able to move forward, and just the way that they pushed each other and worked so well as Wonder Man and Barnaby. And it was for those reasons that you really felt like, dang, it just 2 dudes being bros and trying to make it in this world. And for me, that's 100% why I give this a 5. It was beautiful.
We must have watched different shows, because Joey Pants was Barnaby for me. I don't know what episodes you were watching about, but
dang, he is a natural.
I never thought I would see Joe Pantaleone as Larry Sanders, but
yeah, well, he's also in Hallmark movies lately. He's in the Bills one, man. Come on, he's on.
I haven't seen the Bills one.
I don't know what you're doing. How are you a Bills fan and not watch the Bills one where he's?
I was
watching them get. I'll
this
keep
is Hallmark.
my commentary
Okay?
on the playoffs to myself.
This is the Bills love story. Thank you very much on Hallmark. Wow, unbelievable, Michael.
So you had Dawson Knox, Joey Pants. You had
Lynn Dickey. Yeah, you had everybody, man. Okay,
Man,
so you're missing
next
out.
level. Next
So-
level.
So with Wonder Man being a movie in the MCU, I wonder how many references to the movie we're gonna get. And also, how is he going to be in someone else's, I don't know, like fighting Secret Wars or anything, if only 3 people in the world know about his powers outside of his family?
Guess you're gonna have
You
to
know
find out.
You know who's going to have to find it? Cerebro.
Ooh.
Or Wanda.
Well,
Haha,
Or
Sean.
Doom.
Well, I think it's out there now. I mean, that's why I think that final scene where they're like, "Oh, all the ions are messed with," and blah blah. I think they absolutely
out him.
know, and I think it's gonna get out, and
Oh,
it'll
that's
be.
right. They know.
Yeah, I
It
think
leaves
a
an
lot of-
imprint where
I don't
he's
think
he's
they'll,
used
but I
his
don't think they'll
powers.
tell anyone because I don't think they want to look embarrassed.
It's true.
Because you have to think they tried and tried to get him for months, and then everyone's like, "Oh, it was actually Trevor was the one." So then they'll
Well,
look
and
dumb.
you like there's a feeling like even when you watch how they respond and even the interaction that Cleary has, there's an instance where they clearly don't think it's Trevor, but the very public
Yeah.
confession
talked
of
about
Trevor
how-
pushed
yeah.
them into action where they had to act on it.
Yeah.
It also felt very
Agreed.
modern too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh God, Jesus. Yeah, it did. So that's how it is. We did it. Wonder Man.
Yeah. Can't wait to see Spider-Man, Peter Parker talk to his best friend Ned about the cool movie they just watched.
Aw.
Does Ned
Well,
remember him?
exactly.
Like,
Oh,
Peter
yeah.
has no
Well, he's going to
friends.
remember him at some point. I mean, Ned is in the next movie.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're going to remember. You guys don't get
I just
it.
need to. I want to see
Ned won't
remember.
remember because Ned will have his mind brainwashed and he'll become the Hobgoblin. So
He's
no.
never gonna. It's never gonna
I
happen.
know. He's not the right actor.
I don't want to get.
All
It's not
right.
the right. It's not the right actor.
They're gonna go Roderick Kingsley whenever that ever happens. They're gonna skip the Ned leads.
Or
I'm-
Carly. Carly is Carly Cooper. She's a little
Sure.
bad guy too.
Maybe so. Well,
Mm.
everybody out there should absolutely subscribe to the Nerd Initiative channel because you'll get good stuff like this and theories and all of that good jazz where,
And
Megan, and of course, obviously, Punisher is going to make him remember. No, Punisher makes people forget. He gives them concussions or he kills them.
But he makes you remember him.
That's true.
Unless you're a stupid cop, in which case you just completely miss the plot, which, all right, I guess.
Or you're a significant segment of the population that has missed the plot when it comes to the Punisher.
Oh, yeah. Nope. I'm not doing this.
That's
This
my
is
girl.
where I tell you right now that make sure you guys subscribe because on Monday we have our Man Without Fear episode dropping on the first, or not even the first 5. It's issues 1 through 5 of Frank Miller and John Romano Jr.'s run on Daredevil. As Megan and I were joined by Sean, who you see right here, and gosh, we have so much other content coming out there. I mean, Lauren's got the news dropping. We've got maybe some one shots coming for the Marvel TTRPG games, new comic book day. We've got our reviews with a Night of the Seven Kingdom after show with myself and Chris on Sunday nights. Guys, we do a lot of Nerd Initiative, which is everybody's home for pop culture. This is where you need to go. You don't need to go any other site but here.
Hijinks are constantly ensuing. You gotta
Listen.
check us out.
I'm just saying there's a lot of hijinks, and you already know Nerd Initiative streaming, Nerd Initiative. Yes, came from the edit. Hello. Oh, K-pop Demon Hunters. Oh man. They have like a Furby or something of K-pop Demon Hunters coming out too, but I'm not going to get on
You
that.
can tell this is when all of our Adderall has like gone out of our system by the end of the
Yes.
day.
We're wrapping it up now. Everybody, Megan, where can
Yes.
people find you?
You can find me everywhere under Vigilante Vibes, and you can find me at Nerd Initiative with all the reviews.
Just a bunch of neurodivergence over here. Sean,
Mhm.
what about you, my good sir?
Nerd Initiative as well. You can find me on Threads. You can find me on Blue Sky. I don't do the tiki-taki and all that other stuff.
It's okay. It's all owned by the government now, and they're going to come after you for being a mutant, for knowing every scientific fact. So it's okay.
Oh, it's weird. Our stream just got shut down. This is so
Oh,
strange.
dang.
That's strange. So weird.
Michael, how you've been crushing it out there on Instagram? Where can people find you?
Yeah, well, mostly Nerd Initiative, but yeah, Michael Rothman on Instagram and doing mostly sports these days. But that will come to an end next weekend. So be back to back to
Jeez,
the
are they
entertainment.
taking you out back and putting you to pasture? Like, is everything okay?
Super Bowl's
Wife-
done
Oh
this
my
next
God,
weekend.
I'm tired emotionally of
Is that the
sports.
Super Bowl next weekend?
Yes, thank
Yeah.
God. I'm so emotionally tired.
Week from Sunday.
For the
Oh
Olympics.
man,
Yeah.
man, social media is gonna suck.
Yes, it does every day. But you can find us Nerd Initiative on any socials. Find me, Hops Geek News. Find Lauren. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube here. Hit the notifications because we have content dropping just about every day. We have articles coming out from everybody. Wednesdays are new comic book day, but every day of the week we have something awesome coming out. So you guys should absolutely find www.nerdinitiative.com. Find the social medias, notifications here on YouTube if you just found us, and make us your one-stop shop for everything pop culture. And let us know what you guys thought about Wonder Man as well.
Yes.
Take us out, Megan.
I thought you just did. Okay.
Did
well,
you're right. Peace
bye,
out,
guys.
everybody. We'll see you next time. I didn't mean
Oh,
I kind
oh,
of
that's
took
gotta
over
be me.
there.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. Boo this man.